Funny Games, yeah, it's a movie, alright? A very disturbing one in that, because this movie is probably one of the most disturbing movies I've ever watched. It's also one of the most brilliant movies I've ever watched, just because of how amazing it is. So this movie is a German film, so, if you're American or English and you're not really into foreign films, then you probably won't like it if, you can't be bothered to watch films that are in another language. But with me, I kind of enjoy watching movies in other languages, just because it kind of expresses other people's art, and I like that. But yeah, this movie is very disturbing, very disgusting, and it's a really good movie. I mean, just the idea of it, the fact that these two guys are doing this all just because they can, it's brutal, and it's kind of like The Strangers, except I think it's more dark, so let's get into it. Funny Games. It opens up with this family driving to their house. And yeah, I know, they're a bunch of rich people, they may deserve it, but we're just gonna look past that. So, this family consists of a mum, a dad, and their son Georgie. I don't remember the mum and the dad's names because, I did have to watch this in German. So, what do you expect from me? But, yeah, and I think that this is just a kind of disgusting movie, to be honest. So, after they arrive at the house, they then see their neighbours with these two men. And these two men, they seem pretty normal at first. You got blonde hair and blonde hair. I mean, blonde hair and brown hair, but I can't remember their names. Once again, I'm quite stupid. But yeah. And these guys, they then just come over to the house. They're like, hey, can I borrow some eggs? We need some eggs in the neighbour's house, And yeah, so this guy then drops the eggs all over the floor, and he blames it on the dog. And then he knocks their phone into a open bowl full of water. I mean, if you're gonna kill someone, he's doing pretty well so far. So yeah, he basically cuts off all their communication with the outside world. But yeah, then he leaves, and then it cuts to them once again just in the house, him and his mate. And they're both just like, hey, can we have some eggs? Yeah, they really like their protein, these guys. Gotta respect it. But yeah, they then just, I don't know, start walking around, and then it cuts to the dad and the son just working on a boat. They're having a good time, and then they hear their dog barking. Then the dog stops barking, and it squeals, and then there's silence. We all know what happened to this dog, right? This is one of the things which I hate in movies. I can't take three things. One of them is any sort of essay. Two of them. The second thing is just any form of killing an animal, and the third one's just killing a child. And this movie does two of those things. In fact, no, it technically does all three in one. And somehow I enjoyed this movie. But yeah, he then, starts going. So they've got the family in the house now, and because I guess one of them felt insulted, he decided, you know what? I'm gonna break this guy's legs, mafia style. So he grabs a golf club, just whacks him on the leg, and then he falls to the ground. But apparently that's not enough, because he also whacks his leg again, and then they're all just tied up in the living room. It's that for the kid. They're just sort of sat with the kid on the couch. Also, this movie really breaks the fourth wall a lot, which I kind of enjoy. One of these guys literally, in the later scene in the movie, grabs the remote and rewinds the movie that he's in. It's a pretty smart scene, to be honest. But yeah, it then just keeps going and keeps getting more wild. So, these guys are sat with them, and they put a pillowcase over the son's head. Right here, I thought the son was going to die. I was like, oh god. Here we go. Son's dead. There's two or three already. But no. They put a pillowcase over the son's head, and then they're like, we don't want to expose him to any indecency. Then they tell the mum to strip, basically. Thankfully, her son didn't have to see any of that. But she did kind of argue at first, but then they literally whack the husband on the leg again, and then he's just like, just do it, please. I'm dying. But yeah, he basically just turns into the My Leg guy from SpongeBob for the rest of this movie. But yeah, the son, he's, I guess he's grateful that he didn't have to see his mum naked. But yeah, they instantly tell her to put her clothes back on. Then it's time to play a game of hot and cold to find the dog's body. Not a joke, by the way. This literally happens in the movie. They just send her outside, and one of the guys follows her. Then he winks at the camera, and then he's just like, "Yeah, little warmer, little warmer." Then she finds the dog's body in the car. That's nice. And yeah, it just keeps going up. Keeps getting more and more disturbing for the rest of the movie. So the kid is then just sat on the couch and he pisses himself. So they're like, "Oh, come on, we'll go clean you up." And then he just bolts. This kid bolts at the speed of light and just runs as fast as possible to the neighbor's house. And then one of the guys is literally just having a nice little jog following him. They're so smug about this that they just know they're gonna win. They even made a bet with them where they said, "I bet you'll be dead by 9 a.m. tomorrow." I mean, it wasn't really a bet. It was mainly just like, okay, so you're going to be dead by 9 a.m. tomorrow. And yeah, makes sense, because these guys are brutal murderers. And yeah, it then just keeps going up and up in just depravity. So, the kid is then inside the neighbor's house. He takes off his shorts, because of course they'll leave a trail, because they're wet now. Because he literally went through a lake. He swam through a lake to get there. And yep, he then finds a shotgun. And of course, the shotgun is empty, but then he looks inside and sees some legs. It's his friend. She's dead. That's nice. And yeah, now that he found out that his friend's dead, he's just like, you know what? I'm gonna go in a blaze of glory. He tries to shoot the guy, but of course, in typical movie fashion, the gun is not loaded. How surprising. And yeah, it then just, as I said, it keeps going up and up in quality and disturbingness. So he takes his son, he brings him back to the house, and then just, well, they kill him. No joke. So it shows the TV screen covered in blood while the other guy goes inside to make a sandwich. He's like, yeah, I'll just go make a sandwich. We hear a struggle in there, then we hear a gunshot, and I'm just like, oh, Jesus Christ. What's just happened? Have they killed the dad or something? No, it cuts to the TV being covered in blood, then it pans down, and there's just the son's body without its head. This guy shot his head off. Yeah, that's the kind of movie this is. But yeah, it then, once again, just keeps going more and more insane, and even worse. So, the mum and dad, they're then literally sat inside the living room in silence, just like, our son's just been murdered. And the two guys are like, yeah, we're gonna go. So they leave. For now. Because they are coming back. They leave, and I feel like they kind of just given them a bit of like, they're just being more sadistic, because they were like, yeah, we're just gonna go, bye. And then they give them a bit of false hope, and then the moment that they think they're safe, they come back. So basically, the dad tells the wife, go and get help, so she runs. And she sees a car, but when she sees the car, she thinks it's the guys, so she's like, no, hide in this bush. But then she jumps out and sees it's not them, and tries flying it down, and she fails miserably. Then another car comes, and surprise, surprise, it's the guys. Rhyming. Haha. And yeah, after this amazing, fun little detour, we cut back to the house, and they play another little game. They go, new game. These guys almost have as many games as Jigsaw. And they say that she can play this fun game, where basically, she has to recite a prayer correctly, and then she gets to choose who dies first and how. And then she's told she has to recite it backwards. And of course she does it correctly, but these guys are just like, nah. So, they kill the husband, and then they take her out on a boat. They go for a little boat ride. That's nice. I'm sure they're having a great time. And then, on the boat ride, they realise that it's 8 a.m. They throw her overboard. They're just like, I couldn't be bothered to wait any longer. Then they just go across the lake and go to the neighbour's house, and they knock on the door. Can we have some eggs, please? Yeah, once again, these guys really like their protein, but, yeah, that's the entirety of the movie. That's where it ends. It is just brutal. Like, when it got to the point where the mom and the dad were just sat there, and it was just, like, a really silent frame, I was like, oh my god, is it going to end here? No. It keeps going, and it ramps it up to 11. And yeah, the acting in this movie is absolutely brutal. And yeah, that's pretty much fun again. But have you guys seen it? Because this isn't really like one of those movies that everyone should watch. It is very disturbing. It's very disgusting at some point. There is an American remake which I do have, and I will have a review out soon because it is in English. I'll be able to understand it better. It is a shot-for-shot remake of the original movie though, so it's basically just going to be this, but like English. And yeah, that's pretty much it for this video. What do you guys think of this movie? Let me know in the comments below. If you have seen this movie, what do you think about it? If you've enjoyed this review, click just up here and you can see some other reviews. Until next time though, thank you for watching this video. Subscribe if you want to, like the video. Until next time, bye bye.